So we do have a fair idea of what to expect in terms of numbers coming in from Titan because they do give us a Q4 operational update. So quickly taking you through the numbers, in terms of revenue, we're expecting a 58.5% growth in revenues, while the profits are expected to jump up by 63.7% on a year-on-year basis. Margins also, we are expecting a slight pressure actually coming in on the margins, 12.3% versus 13.6% in terms of the margins of the company. So around a 130 basis point contraction in terms of margins of the company. So now what has the management actually already told us is that yes, they have continued to witness a strong business momentum in Q4 as well, and the growth is around 60% growth for the overall Q4 is what the management has said in its business update. Now they also highlighted that yes, Jan and February saw 36% growth because on a year-on-year basis, but March saw a higher amount of growth because last year, if you remember, March month was when we started seeing the lockdown and retail was absolutely shut in the month of March, and there were no sales actually happening in the month of March when the pandemic hit. So that it was second half of March was surely under pressure. So that low base is surely having an effect on the overall revenue growth of the company. Now jewelry business, which accounts to around 80% of the revenue, is expected to report a 70% growth on a year-on-year basis. Yes, again the similar trend what they mentioned for the overall growth. Jan-Feb was a lower growth of around 32%, but in the month of March we're seeing a very high growth given the low base of the company. And wedding jewelry, the management has highlighted that the wedding jewelry segment has actually driven a strong growth in the jewelry business as weddings had started coming back. So wedding jewelry is something that is expected to see a strong growth this time as well. Now let's talk about the jewelry EBIT margins of the company. Jewelry EBIT margin is expected to be contract, mainly led by the higher low gross margin bullion sales that we are seeing, more bullion sales which are low margins. So that is what something is impacting the EBITDA margin. Then lower studded ratio is also something that overall impacts the EBIT margin of the company. And lastly, the custom duty coming in reduction in FY21 is something that we could be watching out for and could see an impact there. Now talking about watches as well as the eyewear segment. So watches, we are expecting a flat growth during this year on a year-on-year basis, while eyewear is expected to give a 20% growth on a year-on-year basis. Now in terms of commentary, what are we going to be watching out from Titan is how is the performance impacted due to the second wave? Is there any major impact? Especially we have seen a lot of restrictions coming in, local restrictions as well. So what is the impact on the retail business as of now, outlook for the watches as well as eyewear segment, and overall jewelry business as well as the EBIT margins coming in from the jewelry business. So let's watch out for what are the trends actually now coming in the metro cities, malls, stores. What is the second wave and how it has actually impacted the forward-looking growth or any trajectory that the management does give us is something that we'll be watching out for.